Hey everyone, welcome to the SUI Coin Wyckoff Weekly Wild Speculation. We're looking at the weekly chart of SUI Coin, and before getting into the details, these sessions are not financial advice and therefore education research purpose only. Your comments are, however, very welcome. So let's get started. Here, very crazy week, high volume. However, the price is still somewhere around this resistance line set by the PSY period. And in terms of Wyckoff, we probably have another LPSY forming depending on where it stops. So I can first drag this tentatively here, and depending on what happens in the next few days, we've got still a day and 2 hours left before this weekly candle draws to a close. By next week, we'll see how far this LPSY would go. If it successfully break outside or break above this yellow line, the resistance would be obviously the purple line defined by the automatic reaction. So that's around $3.40. That's a pretty big range. It's not that it can't happen, because this range isn't like a very strong support or resistance in the middle. This one defined by the SOW, the sign of weakness, may be like an intermediate resistance at around $3. If there are very good news, then this $3 line will be first tested before the purple line. In terms of the white box, the long-term playground zone, we've seen over the past 2 weeks, basically the price stayed above this support line. As of this moment, this line at around $1.90 is still a pretty strong support, given like this price range, and also excuse me, the buying climax and the upthrust were the price levels that defining this key support. In terms of daily, the price basically was hovering around the top edge of this downward trending zone until like the crazy few days about the tariffs, increasing tariffs or like deferring tariffs or not, that it got a stronger rebound. So we have seen this yellow resistance line already. Let's extend this a little and see whether it will close above this line for the next few days. An interesting thing is, over the past few days, we see these 4 daily candles that closed exactly or very close to above the white line. That's an interesting part, because I have been talking about like bouncing between the yellow and the white seems to be the main trend, at least for this short-term period. If there are no particular good news, it may return to that activity again, given we're seeing declining volume again after the big news, should I say manipulation, or that's usually the case, right? When you have very big news, people tend to use that to trade crazier, and that's why we've got these spikes. Otherwise, the average volume is pretty much at this level. It spiked to like triple of what we have over the past 2 weeks, or 3 even, since February. Actually, if you draw the line, it more than doubled because of those news. So be very careful of these very short-lived speculations. Those may not change the trend, or highly likely not going to change the trend. So it seems that the price has broken out of the blue box and probably forming a horizontal trading range. We have to observe what happens in the next few days. There may be short-term spike like what we have seen end of March. However, like you have seen over here, right? It's not going to live very long unless good news keep coming. Then the price has a reason to sustain above the yellow line. Otherwise, it's going to bounce between the two. And if bad news comes out or the market absorb the fact that okay, some of the things are going to stay and the negative impact is yet to be seen, where the uncertainty is still there, then there is a bigger chance that this white line, the support line, will be tested after what has been done during like April 7th, that it went all the way through and luckily closes above. Likewise, during October, November last year, this line was tested also. So let's see. Key, white line, yellow line, and then obviously I've mentioned this sign of weakness level at around $3. So let's move to Stellar next.